I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya.
The situation that we have now is a very fragmented sheriff's office.
Scattered about various floors of the county courthouse, Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley has called his office decentralized. Tom Bexley, Flagler County Clerk of the Circuit Court and Comptroller, says it's a difficult situation for both his office and the sheriff.
It causes discomfort for him because he's decentralized, and it causes discomfort for me because I have another agency occupying space in my office that I typically wouldn't have anybody else in, and it doesn't give me the opportunity to add and expand services as I need to. Is it terribly uncomfortable for me? It could be much more uncomfortable. Is it a bad situation for the sheriff? Yeah, he's represented that it's just not the proper way for his agency to do business.
The sheriff's office's move from its so-called sick building in the county seat to a new building next to the library in Palm Coast couldn't come soon enough, but construction is still years away from completion. Bexley said until then, they can continue the current living arrangement.
I think there's a little bit of a disconnect between the sheriff and I. He definitely wants a much more centralized location, and I'm just not able to accommodate that.
Another problem the sheriff's office is facing, the rent is becoming too costly at their Palm Coast district office at City Marketplace. When they first opened there, rent was $2,000 a month. Now it's $10,000 a month. Staley needs a quick solution and must keep a district office in Palm Coast, so they'll move temporarily into the Sears building on Palm Coast Parkway once $40,000 in reconstruction work is complete there.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Sunwing Airlines nonstop to Toronto, and now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
Legislation sponsored by State Rep Paul Renner would fund a second Flagler County judge. John R. King reports.
Renner, a Palm Coast Republican, put forth House Bill 5011, which passed unanimously through the Senate's Appropriations Committee last week. It previously passed through the State House. If signed into law, it would permanently fund additional judges in both Flagler and Citrus counties, which have been previously identified as underserved. Renner worked with Republican State Senator Travis Hudson of St. Augustine on the bill.
This is something that's been brought to us every year. It's been something that Senator Hudson and I have worked very hard to do. It's just extremely difficult. We got 1 year funding last year, but this year we got a permanent judge, and that will be a recurring item in the budget. It won't go away. We'll have 2 judges from here until we need more. And so it is a big development for Flagler County, very important to lighten the caseload. Those county court judges can also serve in circuit with permission, and so it will allow all of our judges to dispense justice faster. Cases will move quicker, and we'll get a better justice system here in Flagler County.
The full interview with Renner can be heard on the Free for All Friday podcast at WNZF.com. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
Well, it started as a barbecue stand and bait shop at Bing's Landing. The president of the Hammock Community Association says Captain's Barbecue wants more and more from the county.
Joy Ellis said that since other bait shops had failed at Bing's Landing, the most recent added barbecue years ago to make it viable. She said the building that Captain's Barbecue is in does need lots of work.
The building does have problems. The building, according to Al Hadid in the January 7th workshop, had been struggling for 5 years with problems with the floor. So there were problems with the building all along. Then the hurricanes came and flooded the building.
Ellis said that the county has done an independent inspection of the building, and now the HCA has asked to have an independent engineer inspect it. She said that while the lease calls for inspections of the building, the county has not given the association the go-ahead to have its independent engineer look at the building. Tomorrow, what Joy Ellis says the owners of Captain's Barbecue want and who's on the hook to pay for a new building. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Flagler County students get a say in what new school resource deputy vehicles should look like. Tony Magoo has the story.
Sheriff Rick Staley decided to go to school this year. It wasn't to further his education. It was looking for design inspiration from the students at the Flagler County Schools and Imagine Town Center. When the school year started, the sheriff asked the kids to come up with design schemes for the patrol cars driven by the school's resource deputies. With us on the phone is Brittany Kershaw, Public Affairs Manager at the Flagler County Sheriff's Office.
Students were given the ability to submit a design to their SRD, We submitted them to a vendor who created a proof for what the rock would look like, and now all of the wraps are either completed or they're currently being completed.
There was really a side benefit for all of this, wasn't there?
It would be a way for the students to be proud of the vehicle that they designed, that their deputy drives to and from school every day, and that it'll just be uplifting to be able to see something that they created actually come to life.
For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.